So we're back with the Kia Sorento, and like all Kia Sorentos, the number one killer is rust. So just here on the back wheel arch, it is rusted. So in this video, we're going to fix the rust on the Mark 1 Kia Sorento. Now that we know where the rust is, we're going to take the grinder and we're going to chop out all the rust to a big rectangle, and that'll hopefully get us back to good metal. Yeah, I've gotten a bit of cold, so that's why my voice sounds a bit different, but I've obviously cut out the rust. You can see bits of it just there. It was fairly bad. So it's all in one spot. So I got a cut panel out of another scrapped Kia. This time it came with the inner skin and outer skin. So my plan is to line everything up and cut it out. So you can see the line of the outside piece and the inner skin. I'm just going to cut it slightly shorter than that, so that way I'll have a place to weld. If I made it the same size, I wouldn't be able to get the welder into the corners. And very neatly, there is a spot weld there and a spot weld just there. On the new panel, you can see there's a spot weld there and there in the middle of the screen. And I think they're all welded on a robot. So it's pre-programmed, so this spot weld should be the same on both cars. And they pretty much are. Like, you can see that the spot welds both line up, the two of them. So that's my plan, is to line up this piece exactly where the original was. That should slot in there, weld it, so that way the curve is the same. And then for the outside skin, obviously if it's spot welded, it'll be in the same place as well. Cut it out, weld it all in, and it should actually fit really easily. At least that's the plan anyway. Okay, just after cutting it out to a bigger shape, and it's off. So you don't need that anymore. And we're going to get rid of this foam. We'll get a screwdriver and get rid of that. And what we're going to do now is cut this panel here now out. Then we get ready to weld in a new panel into that. Okay, I quickly marked it out. So that's the outside skin. This is the inside skin. This is what I'm going to be cutting out. So then that gives me enough room then to re-weld it back in again afterwards. And that's obviously the bad bit. So yeah, we're right in the middle, so it's perfect. So let's chop that out and then get ready for welding. Now after a quick cut, maybe you can get cut all the way. That'll break off. Yeah, that's the bad bit gone. Right, let's get on to welding in the new bit. Ah, damn it, Kia. Look. Rotten. So what we'll do is we'll have to cut this panel here out. Cut this panel out, make up a new panel, and then weld it all back in again. A little bit more work, but it is what it is. Okay, so this was my plan. So that panel there would just go in there. Just sit there just for a second. Nope. Yeah. So that would have gone in there, seam weld it all up. It's a little bit out of shape, but we'll just tap with a hammer. That'll actually be perfect. Then come in with this panel here. Again, I've clocked it just all in the same position. And see, that would line up pretty much like that. Yeah, just small bend in it there, but straighten that. Weld that in, and that would have been it, perfect. I was convinced they were all the same color. I thought the car I cut this panel out of was this color. They looked the same. Honestly, they did look the same, but obviously now they're different colors. But when you're in the scrapyard, they're either all rusted in the same place. They've all been hit with the forklift roughly in the same place. So just by chance, I found these two panels, this one and the one for the far side, that weren't damaged and weren't rusted. Ironically, they both ended up being different colors. I thought they were all silver blue. This one is just obviously just silver, and this is silver blue. Yeah, it will be painted eventually the same color, but obviously for the test we can't paint it. So unfortunately, none of that's going to work. So what we're going to do is cut out a slightly bigger section, go in after this rust here, and make up a new panel, weld that in, and then it'll stop here, and then we can continue on. So it's a bit more work, but we just have to keep going. Next I'm going to use some of this brush on seam sealer. So now that the two parts of the inner skin have been welded in, now it's time to get on the seam sealer. Okay, so I use the brush on seam sealer on the seams. I've hit it all now with grey primer. I'm just going to let that flash off. Then going to shine up everything all the way around, get ready for welding. Okay, and the two panels that are going to be welded in, I painted the inside of the two panels. So when they go on just here, the inside of it will be protected with paint. So yeah, just be careful using the wire wheel because I wasn't. So I had it in my other hand, and when I was cleaning down this, just by chance I had my hand just there just to steady the drill. The wire wheel bit into this, ran forward and clipped me. So lovely. I'm going to go home, put something onto this, then come back out and weld it. There's no stopping me. Okay, great. Now that most of the feeling has come back to my hand, time to start welding. So I have this powder stuff on, which is meant to help the skin knit back together again. Now let's get back to welding, and we can weld back in the original panel. Okay, just a quick progress report. So we have welded up all of this panel here. This panel here has now been offered up to it, and we just spot welded it all the way around, and we're slowly closing in all the spot welds. I'm just waiting for the panel to cool back down. We still have to sort out this, just where the two pieces join. I'll just run the grinder on it and just clean it up. But yeah, it's going to be all welded in, and then we're just going to grind down the welds and it'll look perfect. And that's now this side complete. So what we'll do is we will sand down all the high spots on the weld, primer it and paint it. Overall, that's now finished. Please do like and subscribe to this video because it really does help out my channel. So go on, press like and subscribe. I've just given it a quick dab with some of that hammerite crust, so that'll hopefully stop any more rust from happening and kill any that's left behind. Okay, and that's it now, all finished. So it has a stained grey primer because it has to be inspected, and once it's been inspected, then we can paint it back to the original colour. But yeah, really happy how that turned out. Brilliant guys, so thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.